Hello, my name is Kaylin Perron, and today I will be presenting 4 tips that I believe will help beginning educators succeed. Before I begin, I want to start by saying congratulations and welcome. If you are watching this video, it means that you have put in the hard work and dedication it takes to become an educator. Whether that be a teacher or a speech-language pathologist, take a minute to be proud of yourself for making it to this moment that you have dreamed of and worked so hard for years. Now, you might be asking yourself, now what? You have graduated from college, completed all of the assignments, passed all of the tests, done the observations and field work. Now what? Well, you're about to begin being the role model and person others are looking to and watching to learn from. I know that this role can sound daunting. However, hopefully by the end of this quick presentation, you will be equipped with a few helpful reminders to keep in the back of your mind to set you up for success. My first tip for you all is to know your students personally and developmentally. To start, we know, as educators, that it is extremely important for us to know our students personally. What makes them them? What are their individual interests? What is their family like? Who are their friends and who do they hang around? But do we also know it is just as important to know our students developmentally? This was a major takeaway that I learned from not only my first field experience, but also my educational psychology course. From observing speech pathologists in my first field experience, I saw that if she did not know her students developmentally and personally, it would not have been possible for her to develop effective speech lessons. This is because, especially in the field of speech-language pathology, it is crucial to know what the developmental norms are to be able to distinguish between typical development versus delayed versus disorder. After talking with this SLP I observed, she told me that she wished more of her students' general education teachers knew developmental norms and the stages of development so that they could properly teach on the student's level. Surprisingly, she said that many of the teachers do not know this vital information as they should. Therefore, my first tip to be successful is to know your students personally and relationally, but also know your students developmentally. Where should they be in their abilities and learning according to their age and grade level versus where are they in reality in their knowledge and ability? We can accomplish this by knowing the developmental trajectory and milestones of our students and ensuring that we are keeping lessons within their ability level and zone of proximal development. Looking back to the theories we learned in college from people such as Erickson and Piaget will greatly benefit us. These theories were in fact right after all. My second tip is to unlearn that treasure boxes are the best motivators. What I mean by this is that through my educational psychology course and field experiences, I was able to unlearn that prizes are not in reality always the best sources of motivation for students. This concept was one that challenged my thinking to unlearn the myth that extrinsic motivators, such as treasure boxes or stickers, are what is the best method to motivate students. I learned that intrinsic motivators, such as telling students they are doing a great job, build their confidence and provide an even greater motivator because it shifts the focus and reward of the hard work and accomplishments to the student instead of an object or tangible item that they are trying to obtain. One famous psychology illustration is that of the candle, tacks in a box. This illustration demonstrates the idea that rewards narrow a person's focus and cause their thinking to dull and block creativity and problem solving because they are hyper-focused on achieving a goal to get a reward. Therefore, as beginning educators, keep in mind that it is more important to praise and reward the student themselves for their hard work and thinking by giving them verbal praises to build confidence and motivation than to give tangible rewards such as the traditional treasure box system. My third tip is to know your stance on student ability. It is highly important as beginning educators that you take the time to self-reflect on your own beliefs and views on many topics, but especially how you view student ability. This idea had a profound effect on my development when I learned it in my educational psychology class and also observed it with teachers I've had in the past. This concept, developed by psychologist Carol Dweck, puts educators into two boxes. One views the goal of learning to be mastering material through continued effort, and the other views the goal of learning to be mastering material for the purpose of being the best. The latter view also believes that some students inherently have more ability than others. This is an important concept for you to really reflect on and know how you view student ability, because your belief of ability will impact how effective your teaching is. Will you desire to shift your teaching strategies to meet the needs of all your students, or will you establish a negative competitive atmosphere for your students? My fourth tip is to be up to date. This last tip is especially important for speech-language pathologists. As clinicians, we are required to always be reading on our own to stay up to date with the best evidence-based practices to provide our students and clients. A few helpful websites that can help us accomplish this are the ASHA Practice Portal and the Informed SLP resource. The ASHA Practice Portal is a great resource to utilize, especially when you are just beginning in this field, because it has concise, peer-reviewed information on almost every disorder speech-language pathologists treat that you can access fast. It is a great resource to ensure you are providing treatment that is within your scope of practice and allows the correct clinical practices to make sure you're following them. This source has peer-reviewed journal articles on clinical topics, professional issues, handout resources for clients, documentation checklists and templates, and a great overview of topics and disorders with ASHA recommended resources as well. Lastly, the Informed SLP is a great place to go as well because it compiles the best EBP journals that are reviewed by other speech-language pathologists. I personally really enjoyed finding this resource because it has an audio feature that enables you to listen to summarized journals and stay up to date on the latest topics and practices in the field of speech pathology. This ability was important to me and I believe will be helpful to you as beginning educators because life can get really busy when you're starting in a new career, and finding technology and resources that allow you to listen on the go is really important and very beneficial. To wrap up, before you leave, I just wanted to thank you for watching this presentation and remind you once again to be excited. To be an educator in this field means that you are now a part of the profession of qualified clinicians that are equipping students with the skills they need to learn and express themselves the best they can. You worked hard to enter this field and are more than qualified enough to meet the needs of the students you are about to begin teaching. As a last reminder, I encourage you to remember to get to know your students. Personally, getting to know what are their interests, who are they, what motivates them, and also developmentally. Where should they be according to the theories laid out by Piaget and Erikson and others? And where are they in reality? Getting to know your students in both of these ways will help you ensure that you are providing the most effective treatment and education that you possibly can. Also, get to know yourself. What are your views and beliefs about students? Take the time as you begin in this new career to self-reflect on your own stances and your own viewpoints to ensure that you are providing the best education that you can and know where you stand. And lastly, get to know your colleagues. They are there to help you. Ask questions to your colleagues in your school. If you have other speech pathologists in the building, or if you're a speech pathologist, talk to the general education teachers in your school, and also read and learn from them through other professionals, through the thousands of online resources that are published for our benefit. Thank you again, and good luck as you begin your new career. I know you will do great.